Hey there, I want to take you behind the scenes on a current project that I am working on. Now before I wood carve anything, I always dive into the art and design aspect, and this is what I want to do today. I want to just pull the veil back and give you guys a look inside of my design process and hopefully give you guys some tips and tricks that you can take away and use yourselves. Now before I forget, you guys go download my free woodcarving ebook at howtowoodcarve.com. I think it's like 18 or 19 pages, maybe more. I can't really remember how many pages it is, but I spent a lot of time on it and I'm really excited about it and have been getting some great feedback, so you guys go download that. One of the funnest aspects to woodcarving for me is the art and design. It's the process before you even begin woodcarving. Before I begin any project, I sketch out all my ideas, because when you do this, you get what is in your head out on paper, and it makes the wood carving so much easier. That way you don't leave any stone uncovered. I encourage you to take the time to do this. And if you can't draw, hey, no big deal. I'm actually going to show you in just a second a few of my techniques that I use to get by myself when it comes to drawing. What I am currently working on is this custom lineman hammer. And this is, man, this is a beast. This is so heavy. A client reached out to me and he wants a Viking/Celtic theme on here. So we are going to come up with something and put on here. And I have an idea I want to show you guys. And we are going to dive into the steps before we lay this design out. Before we move on, I recommend that you guys get you a design folder for your wood carvings. It will keep you motivated and keep you organized. I keep all my artwork and design ideas in 3 folders: current, new, and old. This tremendously helps me when I am working on new and old designs. Inside this specific design folder, I keep all of my artwork and designs that I consider to have a Celtic or Vikingish type theme. Some of this stuff I came up with on my own and just blended the elements together. And the reason I'm showing you this is because we are going to use some of this same artwork and put it on this hammer here. So if you begin looking, you can see this, all this looks the same, but it's different. And that is because I'm keeping this design right here because it fits so well on the handle, but I take that and I embellish it into different types of designs. Now this one may look familiar to you because I put this same design on this tomahawk that you see right here. I really liked the theme of this, but since I've already done this design before, I'm going to do a spin-off of this. And here is what I have been working with right here. And yes, it does look the same, but by the time I get this completed, it is going to look different. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite this long. I may make it longer or shorter. I'm not sure yet, but I do want to add some other design elements in here. But you can see how this design just complements the handle. Everything is fluid, congruent, and it's going in one direction, keeping this repeating pattern. I'm going to teach you how to draw this base design that you see showing up in all of these pictures. Now before you say, Matt, I can't draw, well, I'm going to tell you I have a hard time drawing as well, but I'm going to show you one of my tricks that I use to make everything look better. Now this is the design that I am talking about right here. This is a leather bracelet. This is the first time I've ever leather carved, so it turned out all right, but this is the design that I'm talking about. And this can be a core foundation of understanding knot work. So we need 3 things. That is a pencil, a Sharpie or a pen of some sort, and a ruler. And the first thing that we are going to do is to square this ruler up and just make a straight line. So this is step 1, make a straight line with a ruler. I am going to freehand this because I want you guys to see how sloppy I can be, honestly. So what we are going to do is going to make an oval shaped diamond. So we're going to go here, just like this. If you mess up, that's not a big deal. If you are not messing up, you aren't making any progress. So there we go. Now you can see one side is bigger than the other. That is all right, I will correct that. So we are going to go down. I am going to eyeball this, and I'm gonna go right about here. There we go. That's almost the same size as this, but this is a little bit bigger, but that is all right. We're gonna go down again and make the same thing. Just the same pattern going down. So we're gonna do one more here. There we go. Now this is a little bit larger, but that is all right. Like I said, I want you guys to see my mistakes here. The next thing I want you to do is to go through here and to thicken everything up. Now we are going to start with the top, which is the bottom for me. You're gonna go to that one point that you see right here and go just like this and connect to the other point. Just make this half circle and connect it to the other point. And you see the space in between here? You see how everything has even space going from here to there? Now we are going to make this half circle on the other side right here. I messed that up, so I'm gonna do it again. There we go. And the next part, we are going to take this top point Are you starting to see the theme now? We are going to go back to the original and go around just like this. If you are getting confused, just rewind a little bit and watch it one more time because you will get this as you follow along. Now we are going to go right here at the bottom and bring it on around. Now you can see I've already made a mistake. Let me go ahead and connect this, and I'm going to show you what the mistake is. And the mistake is right here. You see how we have this one long line? Well, this needs to be crossed under that one. So in order to correct mistakes like this, here's what we are going to do. Going to erase just like this. Now there we go. Now this is looking much better. Now you can see that this part is much larger than this part, and that is all right because we are going to make a few minor adjustments. Now I can see this part is a little bit larger and my line is off there. I'm going to line that up a little bit better and make this side a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. That is looking pretty good. I corrected most of my mistakes here, and I could have alleviated that if I would have used a ruler and made everything nice and uniform, but I wanted you guys to see the raw mistakes that I make. So the next thing that we are going to do is to use my magic trick. And for those of you that draw, you will not see this as a magic trick, but it is using a Sharpie. And this right here has saved my life. And I'm gonna show you guys how to make this look really cool. Trace it with the Sharpie and just try to stay inside the lines here, all right? We're gonna go over this one more time and I will speed this up for you guys. The next step is to let this dry and take an eraser. You can see that this was well used. That shows you how many mistakes I make. So what we're gonna do is just go through here and erase. This is gonna get all the pencil markings out and everything else. And when you do this process, you are going to see that your lines have thinned up just a tad bit. So I'm gonna go over through here one more time and just thicken up the weak areas. For the next part, we are going to put these sprinkles on top. This is one of the most important factors. This type of shading is going to look a little different because I am going to make these little lines right here where the knots cross over at. This right here is fauxing shadow and giving the illusion that you know, the knots are going underneath and that you see the shadow there. There we go. Now if we wanted to, we could add a few leading lines around here. This is optional. It just kind of adds another dimension to this design. I personally like the way it looks. For the next part, we are going to add some shading. Now the shading isn't going to be done with a pencil, it's going to be done with a pen. And those of you that can draw know what I'm about to tell you, and that is stippling. Now yes, if you are a wood carver watching this, you know what stippling is when you have a round carbide burr, but when you stipple with a pen, the same concept applies. I'm going to go in these hollow areas, and here is really the secret to making, that I use to make my designs pop out. I get right in the corner of the hollow part of the design and just start stippling, just dotting the pen just up and down, just like this. I'm leaving the middle part open because I want my eyes to go there. Whoever looks at it, I want them to see that open part because it's going to just draw them into the design. This is my personal method. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just the way that looks best to me. Now I am going to add a little bit to the outside. And I'm doing this where the knots intersect at. Okay, this is before and this is after. Such a huge difference with that pen, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I could have made this look better if I would have used a ruler and made everything perfect, but like I said, I'm not aiming for perfection here because perfection will keep everything that you want out of your reach. So that is the power of using a pen with a pencil. Now, if you already draw, you know this trick, but it was like, oh my gosh, the best thing in the world once I found this out. There are so many ways to draw and all kinds of techniques out there, and everybody has their own style. I will tell you, the reason I draw like this is because I have wood carving in mind, because I know that this design is going to go on a piece of wood and I have to bring that design out, so I get a little excessive with my shading. So the style that I'm showing you is what complements me. You guys find your own rhythm with this, but I do it this way so my brain can comprehend the design better. One more tip for you guys, you can take a base design and you can make multiple designs from that base design keeping the same DNA. Does that make sense? So we have design 1, then you see design 2 is a little bit different. I have these squiggly lines coming out here. Design 3, design 4, design 5, design 6. You can see these are all different, but they keep the same DNA. So when you want to perfect a design, you want to make multiple designs of the same one, but change it up a little each time. And then you can mix and match them together to see which one you like best. This will keep you fresh and it will keep the same base DNA of the original design. So the big question, how do I transfer this design on here? Well, I'm personally going to freehand this because I have done this design hundreds of times. But if you do not want to do this, you can take a piece of premium tracing paper here. I'm just gonna rip one out. We are going to lay over the design here, and you're gonna take your, I'd recommend a pen to do this with, and just trace over. So once we trace this design, we are going to take carbon paper, put this over the top, cut it out, and just transferring it with a pen or pencil. It's as simple as that. And when I begin wood carving this, I am going to primarily be using 2 different burrs. The first one is a round carbide burr. The other burr I will be using is the inverted cone head burr. I'm saving the wood carving until a later video because I'm still working on the design and I want something I'm going to be happy with. If you guys feel that you are stuck in a creative rut that you can't get out of and you can't come up with fresh design ideas and you're just not motivated to wood carve, I want to invite you to take my project idea eCourse. It comes with a downloadable ebook that's right at 50 pages long, and the course is right at an hour. I've been getting so much great feedback from this course, and I am so excited. So if it's for you, you can find it in the links below. I encourage you guys to start drawing, even if you feel like you can't, because you know what? At the end of the day, you are going to feel so much better knowing that you gave it your all. And another thing, don't bash yourself over the head if you don't get everything right in one go. We are all a work in progress. Don't hold yourself to a standard that no one else is, all right? Art is something that you grow in. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Hopefully you learned something. And I know, we didn't wood carve today, but we went a step beyond wood carving. We went into our mind, into design, and how to apply certain principles. So hopefully you got something from this video that you can take with you the rest of your life. So I will talk to you guys soon, and you know the spiel: like, comment, subscribe, whatever the YouTubers say do these days. I'm here for you guys, and I wish you the best of luck in wood carving and art, or whatever you are doing.